Good evening and welcome to Pakistan Today from our Islamabad studio. I'm Victoria Lane. Our top story this hour: tensions continue to escalate across the Middle East as the United States claims it carried out strikes on Iranian radar installations in Guruk and on Keshem Island early this morning. According to U.S. Central Command, the action followed what it described as 4 Iranian drones that were intercepted and destroyed. CENTCOM also says it intercepted multiple ballistic missiles and drones allegedly fired toward the Strait of Hormuz and Gulf countries, with no U.S. casualties reported. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says it retaliated by targeting U.S. bases in the region and fired at 4 tankers allegedly attempting to cross the Strait of Hormuz without permission. Tehran has warned that continued U.S. attacks could result in a complete closure of the strategic waterway. Kuwait says its air defense systems intercepted incoming missiles and drones, while Bahrain activated air raid sirens and issued a nationwide aerial alert. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has acknowledged that Iran did not agree to a ceasefire arrangement, saying Tehran rejected proposals because of what he described as strength and bravery. Speaking to NBC News, President Trump claimed Iran's missile stockpile has significantly declined and said the country would eventually have little choice but to return to negotiations. President Trump also said his administration is making substantial progress regarding Iran, reiterating that Tehran would not be allowed to acquire nuclear weapons. He added that oil tankers continue passing through the Strait of Hormuz and expressed confidence that tensions would eventually ease, potentially reducing global oil prices. In another development, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has rejected comments made by Lebanese President Joseph Aoun, who accused Tehran of using Lebanon as what he described as a bargaining chip in negotiations with Washington. In comments posted on X, Araghchi dismissed suggestions that Iran bears responsibility for occupation, displacement, or ongoing attacks inside Lebanon, insisting such claims are false. Reuters reports President Aoun earlier argued that Lebanese citizens were paying the cost of Iran's regional policies. Turning now to diplomacy, Russia has voiced support for Pakistan's mediating role between the United States and Iran. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Moscow backs continued negotiations involving Pakistani mediation efforts and stressed that any future agreement must consider both Iran's interests and the security concerns of neighboring countries. Lavrov also said the United States appears to recognize the seriousness of the crisis, but lacks a clear strategy for resolution. He noted that Saudi Arabia and Egypt are also involved in diplomatic engagement, and emphasized that sustained dialogue remains essential for de-escalation. And now to Islamabad, where Pakistan is expanding regional security coordination. Pakistan and Russia have agreed to strengthen cooperation against illegal immigration, enhance counter-narcotics coordination, and increase law enforcement collaboration. Pakistan also agreed to expand joint training programs and establish working groups with several Central Asian countries to address common security challenges. For more on this, we go to our correspondent Sarah William in Islamabad.
Pakistan has intensified security diplomacy during meetings held alongside the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Interior Ministers Conference in Kyrgyzstan. Federal Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi held separate meetings with officials from Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Kazakhstan, focusing on migration, narcotics, and border security cooperation. Pakistan and Russia signed agreements aimed at tackling illegal immigration and improving repatriation mechanisms for illegally residing nationals. Regional concerns over terrorist camps and drug production in Afghanistan also featured prominently in discussions, with participants emphasizing broader law enforcement cooperation moving forward.
Thank you, Sarah William in Islamabad. Moving to Lahore, Speaker of the Punjab Assembly Malik Ahmad Khan says Pakistan-China economic cooperation is reaching new heights under Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's leadership. Speaking during a meeting with Chinese Consul General Sun Yan, Malik Ahmad Khan said the Prime Minister's recent visit to China marked an important milestone in bilateral relations. He stressed that timely implementation of agreements reached during the visit remains essential and described the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor as a key driver for future economic growth, employment generation, and industrial expansion. The Chinese Consul General reaffirmed Beijing's commitment to expanding cooperation in economic, educational, and cultural sectors. And finally, preparations for general elections in Gilgit-Baltistan have been completed ahead of polling scheduled for June 7th. Authorities say Section 144 has been imposed in Diamir to maintain law and order as election activities conclude. A total of 396 candidates are contesting across 24 constituencies, including 266 independent candidates and 7 women candidates. More than 1,300 polling stations have been established, with hundreds categorized as sensitive or highly sensitive. Inspector General of Police Akbar Nasir says 15,000 police personnel will be deployed alongside support from Punjab Police, Sindh Police, Pakistan Rangers, and GB Scouts to ensure peaceful and transparent voting. Citizens have also been urged to report fake news and misinformation to authorities. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today. I'm Victoria Lane.